May you all take a seat.
Citizens of Cobourg, and all who would attend this grand occasion of new celebration in Victoria Hall's finest ballroom. Let it be known that upon this 15th day of November, in the year of our Lord 2022, that a new era of governance for the town of Cobourg did begin, with the official declaration of office and the swearing in of the town's new mayor and council. Let it also be known that whilst our town honours the dedication, hard work and commitments of the past office, we the people celebrate the new incoming office and look forward with great anticipation to supporting and working with said office for the mutual benefits it will bring to our great town and communities alike. Warmest congratulations, Godspeed, and the very best of wishes to our new mayor, His Worship Lucas Cleveland, and his new council. And long live the new king. Long live His Majesty King Charles III.
Thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
I would like to now invite the former mayor, His Worship John Henderson, to come forward to the front to present the mayor's chain of office. Now, to all those here present, I am pleased to introduce and present, standing before you, His Worship Mayor Lucas Cleveland.
Of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same office, the same force and effect as if made under oath.
I, Adam Bureau, have been elected or appointed to the office of councillor in the municipality of the town of Cobourg, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received any and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose this pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty the King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is some of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Now, to all those here present, I am pleased to introduce and present, standing before you, Councillor Adam Bureau.
I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received or will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Now, to all those here present, I am pleased to introduce and present, standing before you, Councillor Aaron Burkett.
Having been elected or appointed to the office of councillor in the municipality of the town of Cobourg, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise.
Barber to please step forward to take your oath of allegiance and declaration of office.
I, Randy Barber, having been elected or appointed to the office of councillor in the municipality of the town of Cobourg, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will
To all those here present, I am pleased to introduce and present standing before you Councillor Randy Barber. Term of 2022 to 2026. Council, you may take your seats, and the meeting is now yours.
Good evening. As I begin, I'd like to welcome a few of our special guests this evening. First and foremost, former Mayor John Henderson and former Mayor John Henderson and former Mayor Peter Delanty. President and past council members, CAO Tracy Vaughn, her leadership team, and all of town staff present. Former town clerk Rick Stinson, police chief Paul Vandergraff, deputy police chief Jeff Haskins. Also attending this evening from the Cobourg Police Services are Superintendent Duncan Walker, along with Roger Ramkinson from the police CAO position. Derek Paul, president and CAO from Lucy, David Tabucci, chair of Holdco, and Tammy Roberts, CEO of the library. Thank you for coming this evening. Folks, you never know where your life journey is going to take you. My partner Montana and I, and our new baby Rome, embarked on a journey 7 years ago, trekking across this great country of ours to find a permanent home, somewhere to plant roots and build a happy and meaningful life as a family. We had been living in Alberta for over a decade. I was working my way up in the oil industry, Montana already an executive, but we didn't like the changes that were happening. And we didn't like what we were experiencing. And we knew it was time for a move and a change. So we decided to take some time with our brand new born Rome and travel across Canada to look for a new home. We visited some of the most amazing cities and towns that this country has, from Victoria all the way across to Halifax, looking for just the right fit. After nearly 4 months of travel, we were about to give up and head back west, but decided before we headed home that we would spend a few weeks with my parents, who had just recently moved from Scarborough to some beach town to the east, a place they called Cobourg. So we came, the two of us, our little baby, our famous three-legged dog, to stay with my very supportive, generous, and kind parents in a 2-bedroom condo. I remember waking up the very first morning as we arrived at night, sipping a coffee, looking over the harbor with Montana. And the first look from her made me realize we felt the same. We had just found it, our new home. You see, Cobourg offered so much of what we were looking for. It created a space for a happy life as a family. So that very day we decided to sell everything, move immediately, and put our roots down here. After some soul-searching, research, and connecting with this very community, we then went on to build a business the community asked for, a local grocery, a foodie hub, and a zero waste mandate. Now, we had no experience in business, but we didn't let that stop us. And today, the market stands as a successful and thriving business. That, ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, is me and is us as a family. I started my mayoral campaign just 4 weeks before the election because I thought that the resident of Cobourg deserved a choice. And here I stand before you this very evening, so very humbled and so incredibly grateful to be sworn in as the 48th mayor of Cobourg, Ontario. I am beyond grateful for every vote that was cast on my behalf in this community. And to my supporters and campaign team, Jesse, Jared, Val, and Mikkel, thank you. We worked hard, we worked quickly, and we worked efficiently. Thank you for believing. I knew that how I won mattered just as much as actually winning. So I didn't make any campaign promises, except to say that I'm a problem solver, a hard worker, a quick learner, and that I wanted to use my experience, high energy, and skill set to bring positive change to Cobourg. I couldn't speak of a successful political career because I'd never had one. I wanted to remain honest and integral, and so I became increasingly and exceptionally comfortable with saying, I don't know, but I will work harder than anyone to figure it out. Now, just like everything I've ever done, I'm always learning. And as I learn, and as I spent the past 2.5 weeks learning the magnitude of the job ahead of me, and I have become aware of the work that has already been completed, I am even more humbled to think of the work of past council members and mayors. I would first like to thank John Henderson for his 12 years of political service to this community. First in council, then as deputy mayor, and the last 4 years for his leadership as mayor. As I learned, John, what this job is, and as I become aware of the work ahead of me, I stand in complete awe of your accomplishments. And I can only hope to serve this community as well as you have done. Thank you, sir, for being so kind, supportive, and helpful this transition. It speaks to your honor and your integrity. I would also like to thank outgoing Deputy Mayor Suzanne Seguin for the important role she played on council as our budget chief. I'd also like to say thank you to Ms. Emily Chorley in her role as coordinator for Parks and Recreation Services. This town is better off because of your service and dedication. Thank you both. I would also like to thank all of the political candidates who ran in this election, as I know firsthand the conviction and courage that it takes to do so. I would like to thank the staff at the town of Cobourg, who work very hard to serve our residents, and who do so with a sense of pride and integrity day in and day out. A special note to the executive assistant, Tony, who has gone above and beyond the call of duty to ensure my first few weeks here have gone as smoothly as possible. Lastly, I want to thank my family, who are all in attendance this evening. To my parents, Rocky and Deborah, my sister Erica, my partner Montana, and my son Ron. Thank you for always being there no matter what, for your endless help and encouragement, and for your unwavering support, no matter how crazy the idea I have or ambitious the plan. I am standing here this evening because of all of you. Cobourg is a heritage town steeped in more than 200 years of tradition. I pledge to respect that tradition, but I think that it's possible to do so while moving us forward. I'm really looking forward to working with this team. Deputy Mayor Nicole Beattie, Councillors Aaron Burkett, Adam Bureau, Ryan Darling, and our newly elected councillors, Mary Mouton and Randy Barber. Let's give a round of applause to all of them. We We look forward to working collaboratively in a spirit of trust, openness, and transparency with our town administration, led by Chief Administrative Officer Tracy Vaughn, her talented leadership team, and all of the dedicated employees here at the town of Cobourg. There are 3 fundamental pillars which I hope will move us forward. The first is teamwork. We need to work together, and that means all of us, politicians, town staff, and our community. How we work together is as important as what we want to accomplish. The second pillar is transparency and accountability. We need to continue to share information. It is incumbent on council to ensure that the residents of Cobourg have insight and access to how projects progress in Town Hall, why budgets are spent, and why projects are needed. When we commit to getting something done, we need to follow up and be accountable both for our successes and our failures. And finally, I am a strong proponent of progress over perfection. Ladies and gentlemen, very few people get everything right the first try, and I can assure you all, I won't. We will make mistakes because we will be working to make important changes and to prepare for the future. And you can't always predict outcomes or results, but you have my promise and commitment that we will always make our best effort to do better and to improve this community for all of its residents. When we make a mistake, we will learn from it, and that will allow us to move forward faster. As mayor, I will always encourage different points of view. I look forward to insightful and sometimes difficult debates. But in the end, I know we need to take calculated risks based on sometimes limited information. But I believe that it is what it will take to move projects and initiatives forward to prepare us for the future. We cannot do this without our residents. The past council has done an excellent job of opening public engagement, and you will see this council continue with that work and take it to new levels. I look forward to 4 years as we work together to unlock Cobourg's potential together. Thank you all.
Good yourself. Don't ever let him win. Don't ever let him win. Looking sharp. Oh, how you doing? He's got it. He's got it. Stage 3 or 4. He's got it. Yeah. We have a special. I'm not sure.
Lucas, tell me about tonight. Must feel great.
It's a wonderful evening tonight with council. I'm looking forward to it. We wanted to keep it very celebratory, keep the actual governance to a minimum tonight, and just acknowledge the hard work of all the councillors.
Great. When you spoke, great speech, Nat. A lot of work to do, though, obviously.
Yes.
Again, we talked about it before. I don't know where to start, and as I say, you got to have team meetings for that. If you can just elaborate.
100%. So right away, we've already had our striking committee meetings. We'll probably be calling a special meeting sometime in November, early December, to get some of the work that would normally be done in an inaugural meeting out of the way. Our first council meeting's not till January, but we've got a lot of work between now and then to get done. A lot of team building exercises as a council, understanding where we're all going, and building some cohesive goals.